Hey everyone, welcome to a full timeout. Tonight's guest has a decorated career as both a basketball player and professional. He started with the SIPAG in 1995 while playing for the NABA tournament in Vaughan, Canada. As a dominating center, he has been both a SIPAG rival and SIPAG MVP. Currently, he's retired from the NYPD as a sergeant. We want to welcome Chris Traumer to the program, one of New York's finest. Hey, Chris.
Oh, man. Hey,
Hey,
JC.
Chris.
Hey, JJ. Thanks for having me on the honor.
Thanks
Thanks for coming on.
Yes, it's amazing what you guys are doing, carrying on the CPOG tradition and the history.
Thank you, man.
Great.
Thank you. I wanna just do a quick toast to start, on your retirement.
Okay.
God
All
bless
right.
you.
Thank you.
And thank you for your years of service in the New York City
Got my shot
community.
glass. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
How is retirement treating you now?
Yeah, it took some adjustment because you're used to a routine every day. I became a supervisor, so there's a lot of responsibility, and just for it to stop, it was an adjustment.
I'm sure.
Because you're used to being so-called the man running things and helping people, but now it just stops, and your phone stops. Your responsibility, so you have to fill it up with different responsibilities and things that you always wanted to do in your life.
Of course, and we'll go deeper into some of the stuff that you were able to do while you're on the job a little later on the show.
Okay.
But I just want to kick it off with the first question. Bring us back to your early days of basketball and how you got into it. And I just need you to clarify a rumor that I swear I've heard that you today are 6'7", but you in high school you're below 6 foot. Is that accurate?
Yeah. In the 11th grade, I was that's correct, 5'6", and then the 12th grade I shot up to 5'11", and then my first year of college I started at 6'7". So it was like a foot growth spurt.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you eat?
I just ate my mother's, she cooked lasagna, vitamins. My heritage is my mother's Filipino, father's German, Irish. So I think the German-Irish heritage kicked in.
Man,
See,
no secrets.
When I eat lasagna, I'm 6'7" too, but I'm 6'7" that way. Don't laugh so hard, JJ.
Yeah.
So with that being hearing that, and that's amazing, by the way, that short amount of time that you were able to grow that much. But so did you always play basketball?
No, I just played pickup, in the park. I didn't take it serious, but when I went to Mercy College in the open gym, they were like, yo, let's get on the court. I think I was picked the first one, and they didn't realize I couldn't even play. I didn't know what 3 seconds was, traveling. I mean, I knew what traveling was, but 3 seconds and whatnot, pick and roll. So right away they were like, you know what? Nah, don't pick him up no more. But I just started playing more and more, and then I eventually was my cousin who's came from the Philippines, and he told me about hey, the Filipinos play basketball in New Jersey in Kinilau, and so I just started playing. Because I wanted to play with him, and I just started loving the game more because of my height, and from there I went to I took it more serious. But in the elementary, middle school was no organized, high school no organized, just street basketball.
Wow.
And it first started with the garbage cans, using the garbage cans. I'm sure you guys know.
What was it like playing against SIPAG, especially the Mythical Five at their peak?
Yeah, okay. So, like I said, I went to that league in 1992. I started playing. That was my first league ever, first interaction with Filipinos on a large scale. I knew a few, but not playing basketball. Mm-hmm. And I was playing with a team, Lamar, is based out of Westchester. And, I heard about SIPAG. They were, the guys were telling me, we didn't play them right away. I think it was the third game. And they were saying these guys, all of them are about 6 foot, and they all could dunk. And they're all they won like 4 or 5 champ. I didn't even know what NABA was, but they were like they won inner city tournaments, and you know, they play don't bring the ball down. But they were telling me all of this, but I didn't you know, I didn't really feel it until I played them. And when I played them, it felt like the game went to 0 to 100, because I never felt that kind of pressure. Because right off the bat, it was pressure defense, and guys were, you know, usually I was a pretty good runner at the time, and running, you know, on a fast break, usually one person was next to me on a fast break, but almost every one of them was right on top of you. Again, don't bring the ball down. I was getting stripped. I'm, you know, 6'7", you know, I didn't know any of the guys at the time, but, you know, I didn't really expect that. And I swear that they were passing the ball without looking at each other, because when they came down the court, it seemed like they just threw it, and someone was in the corner to catch it and make a shot. And I just remember, like, how did he just pass that ball? You know, he didn't even look. And, you know, and I remember that coach, I didn't know him at the time, but I heard his name was Buddah. And he was just like, mad dog on the sidelines yelling with a high-pitched voice, like, get him, you know, like, this guy's, that big guy's traveling. And I was like, yeah, what's up with this guy? You know, like, you know, and then, you know, I really didn't know, you know, but what intimidated me was the warm-ups, you know, when they were doing the warm-ups, everyone was, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, because you know, there was like 6'1", 6'2", 5'11". I believe Chris at the time, Chris Albano was dunking, Jerry, Mel, and I was just like intimidated right off the round robin, you know, because a few of us could dunk, but not like that, you know. I wasn't expecting that. And then when they started the game, just a funny story that because they told me it was like a bunch of, you know, Filipino guys, they're good guys. But Mike, at the time, he was, you know, saying 1, 2, 3, and they broke the huddle. And he was like, kill. And I was with my friend at the time, Jay Dungalo. And I was like, you know, I thought you said this was a friendly league, you know. But, yeah, I think I had a bad game. I think I only had 2 points, fouled out, 2 or 3 points. But I just remember the intensity, the passing, and most of all, like, after the game, they were cool guys. Everybody was like, you know, how you doing? You know, sorry you lost. And they didn't play dirty. That was the thing. They played hard, but nobody, that was my first experience when I first played in the Filipino game. Guys was, I wasn't used to that either, holding me.
The physicality, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they were like, pushing, grabbing. You know, I played, you know, like I said, in the, you know, like parks and whatnot. I played a little bit of organized ball, you know, from college up until that point, but I wasn't used to that. And I always felt like SIPAG played tough. And right off the bat, it planted a seed in my head. You know, I want to beat them, but that's how I want to be a part of that. You know, that the way they play. So we try to duplicate that.
That's cool.
You know. I mean, I'm just jumping a little ahead, but we recruited your dad, Tito Larry, to coach us, you know, because we thought that we could duplicate it, but it doesn't work like that, you know. It takes time. Yeah.
Do you remember any, like, particular good games or good battles you had against them?
Yeah. I know most of the times I would say I was on the losing end, you know, out of the, you know, many years of playing. I mean, not many years, but from 92 up until 95, I joined up with you guys. But, you know, playing in the championship games, in NABA, in Kinilau, I believe we played in remember we played in New Jersey in the where the Nets play. We had a close game there.
Meadowlands.
The Meadowlands, yeah.
Yeah.
Came down to the wire. But I remember, you know, it was just, I think I had maybe one, I can only count 1 or 2 good games because they had my number. You know, Jerry usually played me really tough. He knew, you know, to push me out of my comfort zone. I was double teamed. You know, so I wasn't I really never had a good game. Maybe 1 or 2 games. I think one time we won, but that was because most of the SIPAG team didn't show up.
Oh.
But yeah, I had it was just a tough battle. I would say out of most organizations I played against, SIPAG, I had the least success.
Talk about how you got integrated into SIPAG and what it was like playing with those guys.
Oh, okay. So yeah, after a while, I started getting, after the games, I just started talking to Chris Albano, telling him, I like the way you guys play. If you ever, I talked to Mike, Flamenco, Buddah, and I just started asking, hey, I like the way you guys play. I hope to play with you. If you need somebody, I'm willing to, I would like to join up with you guys. And I believe, they talked it over, and in '95, after, 3 years, I felt like it was the best, decision to make at the time because, I like playing with Westchester. They gave me a start, but I really wanted to be, I wanted to win a championship.
Those guys
I
love
remember.
playing with you.
Yeah. I was gonna say that too. Yeah, I felt like I remember, earlier on the battles, you being the big guy on the opposite side, and seeing you when you finally were able to join SIPAG and playing. I felt like your transition seemed almost like seamless. Like you kind of fit in. The guys, maybe not at first, but after a while, I felt like you kind of embraced the culture and vice versa. They took you on, without any hiccups.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, in the beginning it was tough because I was used to playing. Usually when on Westchester, Lamar, or the other teams, they would say, the ball is going through me, and but now to come off the bench or only play a couple minutes a game or a tournament, it took some being humble. But I knew to be a championship, I had to observe and sacrifice because these guys have been there for years and years, and I was willing to, humble myself, because I believe the first year in '95, I only played like 3 minutes the whole tournament, and I was a little, I felt a little, down, like, man, I didn't play, but, I knew that if I stuck with it, eventually I'm good. My time is going to come, but just stay ready, like they say, stay ready. But I just liked how, they were patient and everyone is supportive. And it doesn't come right away. You have to really get in the right mindset and be willing to make a sacrifice. And I was, like I said, I embraced that when I saw the way you guys played, and no one complained. And I'm not the only one that didn't play a couple minutes, and everyone was positive. And that's why I enjoyed sacrificing, for the team.
Spoken like a true champion, Chris.
Oh, thanks, JC.
Now, I mean, being involved, throughout the 90s, and then, up until a couple of years ago, playing at NABA, what was one NABA memory that really sticks out in your mind, either playing for or against SIPAG?
Playing for SIPAG was 2010. There was a senior, I guess it was the senior division.
Senior division, yeah.
Yeah, and I was having a couple of, I was getting into foul trouble, fouling out. But I just, it's like, man, I just got to get myself to, I got to get it together because, they need me. So I just started, keep my mind straight, and we ended up winning the championship. And we were playing against a few PBA players on the other side.
That was the Orlando team.
Yeah. I believe they were Orlando.
Ed Naron, I think Ed Naron was one of those guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not too familiar, but they were professionals. You could see they were good players. But the thing about SIPAG is that it doesn't matter who's on the other end. It's that the whole team is they're gonna go at it 100%. And, like I said, the bench guys, they're supportive. Even I was having those bad games, guys was still trying to pick you up. Ed Grossbay, Yvonne, they're all keeping me positive. And I just happened to have a very good game during the finals. And we were able to beat them, fortunately. And, thanks to Ed, Grossbay pass, he was finding me. It was just like, when they say you're in the zone, Yvonne, passing, I just happened to, just be in the right place at the right time. So that was great. And playing against, I guess we were in a championship with Westchester playing against SIPAG in the championship game. And, I just remember it was a good battle. I believe we were in Jersey. But, even though we lost, like I said, we just came, the whole SIPAG organization was always positive, talking with the parents, your mom, all the parents and the players were always supportive. So I was always impressed by that.
Speaking about the SIPAG organization, what's a message you would give the SIPAG youth? You know how we run the clinic, just something that how they would approach learning and playing basketball.
Yeah, I would just listen to the guys that's been there before. I know some guys that are running the clinics are from they didn't really start out with SIPAG, but like me, you just learn the culture, which is on and off the court, giving it 100%. And playing the SIPAG way is making the pass, making the extra pass, supporting your players, making a sacrifice. Like I said, I didn't play until years down the road, until I got until the senior division, before I got regular playing time. And that was, from 2000, can you imagine 2005 to 2010, but it's just like, perseverance and, taking time to listen to the, your elders, like you, JC, I remember you and JJ, in the McKee Vocational, and, you're always good kids, and you always listen, and that's important. Communication.
Thank you, Chris. I just remember the earlier days at actually Stand on Tech during the clinic days. My little sister Lara, anytime you'd walk through the gym past my mom. Well, first of all, you always said hi to my mom, which I thought, hey, respect that guy.
Yeah.
But you being so tall at the time, my sister Lara was afraid of tall people, so you always kind of. But to kind of to show what a nice guy you really are. One weekend, I remember you might have brought like a little teddy bear or stuffed bunny or something to kind of just as a peace offering to Lara.
Yeah, so, just trying to.
Lara, if you're watching, he's a good guy. I told you.
Yeah, I think she still cried, but my feelings was kind of. I was like, why is she crying? Like, but I know they said she didn't really, she's kind of intimidated from tall guys. But she ended up doing an interview with me years later. But like I said, your whole family was, that was my second. That's when I really started getting comfortable at the. McKee Vocational. What is that? McKee Vocational High School.
Stand on Tech.
Stand on Tech. Yeah. It was, you had your mom there with the food. And you had the parents outside doing the cookout. And the players. Believe it, I used to get there like 2 games early and stay 2 games after, because I just it felt like I felt like certain comfort. This is before I was with SIPAG. I was just I like talking to you, your brothers, Champ, Albano, Banj, and the players. It was just the refs, everybody. The security. It was just something I look forward to on Sunday. And I try to emulate that once I, later on in my career, when I started doing, Cops and Kids basketball, I tried to make it. When I had a gym, no one could duplicate your mom's food.
I was gonna say, I would be surprised if they were making Turon in the Bronx, but you never know.
She's your own.
But but I mean, you brought it up, and just that gesture for my little sister Lara at the time, like, that just kind of showed what kind of guy you were. But like segueing into your career as as one of New York's finest, you actually started an after school program to kind of keep kids off the streets. You want to just describe that?
Oh yeah, but I started. I started scouting out the schools in the area that wasn't using their gym at night. Like 9 to 12 or 7 to 10, and just to keep kids busy at that time. And
I'm sorry, Chris, what precinct is this?
Oh, that was the 49th precinct in the
49
Northeast Bronx.
Just give him a shout out to the 49 precinct.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I was I just came at the like the church, just telling them what I was doing, the high schools, the middle school, and they were receptive, partnering with the PAL, and was able to get these after school basketball with the help of the police, because we had to use scanners and whatnot, because after a certain time you got so a certain level of people are going to be carrying things for protection and whatnot. But I'm looking back, I'm like, wow, that was nuts. I had like different organizations in there playing basketball against each other, and I'm the referee, or my some other officers are the referees, and nothing we had a lot of positive success.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just want to talk about a figure, Coach Michael Flamenco Boots.
Yeah,
definitely. Can you share us one of your favorite stories about him?
Oh yeah, there's so many. I just rest in peace, Coach Mike Buddah. Is that he was a friend, first and foremost. He was a coach, and Coach Larry is your dad, Tito Larry, was the best. He was but it's Mike came along. He was more of a like he could talk. He was more of a friend. I could we hung out and whatnot. But I guess when we first started coaching, I was getting into religion, serious, being born again. And, I was like on the fence with, being Catholic, and, so, I know Mike, when he broke the huddle, he would say, 1, 2, 3, kill. And I was like, Mike, can I talk to you for a second? And I said, Mike, you mind if I say some, peace or something? He said, big guy, if you give me 10 rebounds and 5 block shots and 10 points, you can say whatever you blankety want. And I was like, oh, thanks. All right, Mike, thank you. So I thought it was pretty funny of him, to say that. But
it sounds like something he would say.
Yeah. Yeah. But I always appreciate his humor. Good or bad, he was always positive. And but when it came game time, he flipped the switch, and that's what when I first saw him, I saw like he was cool and making jokes, but then once the game time, he just flipped that a switch, a light came on, and he was really intense, and he really loved kids too. Like I know I work with youth, but he really cared and about the youth, and as you guys know.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. I mean, for us, our generation and guys we grew up with, and even for younger ones, he was always like, the big mano, big kuya, big brother. And that's what he was. And, definitely miss him.
Yeah.
But
he influenced a lot of us, and, he left us in a better place for it.
That's for sure.
All right, Chris, I got a few photos to share. Just give us a little background and caption for each.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was.
Oh, that's dead on tech. Oh man.
Yeah, I remember those games were packed though. Like I know what was good about that is the cheering sections with the SIPAG and the banging the bleachers. JC, I know you were friendly on the side, but you were banging. You were like, boo. Yeah, I just know Jerry Grossbeck gave me a lot of problems. He was very crafty. He could jump, shoot, but a gentleman and a good friend. But playing against him was, like I said, I had to get my sleep. I would think about it, like, how am I going to, play him? How am I going to defend him? It was on my mind. But I had a good time. And he beat me to the ball there, you see? You know, you could, yeah, he beat me. He got the, yeah. Oh, okay. That was our first Lamar team, Westchester. And, you know, I would just say that we were young then. You know, a lot of us were new to basketball. And I made a lot of friends with, you know, the Dangalo brothers. There was a lot of brothers, the Cruz brothers. You know, it was a great time. You know, I enjoyed, like, after the game, we would go to you know, the Pizza Hut in the mall there, and you know, it was good times.
That was against what SIPAG was playing under the Clippers, correct?
Yeah. That was Lamar group based out of Westchester. Yeah, that was Ronnie Villalobos. A lot of, you know, the other guys came on. Yeah, just to let you guys know, we were giving you guys a little battle, but after Tito Joey Dangalo, he was like, you know what? We got good players. We're going to have to start recruiting. So we started, he put his, the telephone or let the word go out like, hey, if you're good, we're going to recruit you. So we, as you know, we've recruited King Tixon from Rhode Island, Jeffrey Valeriano. Like, guys were just coming from the Philippines and from college, and we were putting them on the team. Professionals, you know, Eddie Boy Mendoza, and Orlandis, and that tells you, like, we had guys that were very good on paper. Ron Oliver, if I forgot a few, like I said, Ronnie Villalobos, but we didn't have the chemistry you guys have. You know, if you looked at it, you're like, wow, that's a tall team. They're a big team, but you know, without that chemistry, we didn't have a chance.
Those are definitely battles, though, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That was
this one I had a question about, because the background. This is the new College of Staten Island, where I coach at now. Obviously, the flooring and the seating is all different. But what tournament was this?
This was like an Asian tournament. It was like I don't know if you remember. It was like they invited it was an Asian. They had like Indian, Chinese, I believe there's some Korean teams. I believe we came in second. That's why Eddie's not smiling and Paul, Max. But we didn't have our full squad there, and I think we lost in the finals or something like that. But we played, just as on a side note, like, we started playing all over the place. Like, you know, wherever they had tournaments, you know, we were going, and you know, we were successful most of the time.
Want to give a quick shout out to Artie. What's up, Artie?
Artie Hilario.
Artie. You know, what was the thing about SIPAG? I know they had a good 5, but like, I was surprised. Like, the bench was solid. You know, the bench could beat most teams. They just, you know, they just weren't, you know, as good, but the bench was really strong. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's I really enjoyed giving back. You know, that was just like, sometimes we get donations, so we stop by like community like housing developments, and you know, have like giveaways, outreach through World Vision was a group that we partnered with. But you know, it's great to some of these kids you see later on, and they're like telling, hey, you remember this? You know, I was like, oh yeah, I don't remember, but you know, try to leave leave them in, you know, something positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, that was just my promotion to being sergeant with Commissioner Safer. Yeah, it was a good you know, it's just like, just putting your mind to it. You know, like, I would just have to say that growing up in public housing, my mindset was like, you know what, man, I may not be smart enough to become a sergeant or, you know, better myself. So I had like this mindset that I had to break, you know, and took years, you know, of just, you know, dedicating myself to studying, because you know, anything's possible if you put your mind to it.
I like that.
Nice. Coach Mike, he's always, you know, it's funny, like, we'll take a picture, but Mike will be like tapping your back. I'll be like saying, okay, why are you pinching my butt or something like that. He's fun. You know, he's like, you know, cracking jokes, but he looks serious.
He was able to get you to smile. So.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Yeah, Mike again. I always try to, like I don't, a lot of these tournaments I was playing in, I pretty much retired. But playing with you guys, I'll come out of retirement because, after a while, you just don't have the same passion. But you get up for, when SIPAG calls you, you got to answer the call because, guys playing the right way, they're going to sacrifice. And Mike, look there, he was feeling kind of sick and, and he's still out there, talking to the kids, so, supporting us, and he didn't really say like he was really sick. He kept that quiet.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything.
No,
I heard about it,
his game face on.
Yep. Yeah, that was
nice.
Yeah, that was our second senior championship. Yeah, that was nice.
Solid team.
Yeah, Miguel. Yeah, and it was a pleasure to play with. I think I don't know if Champ was there, but Banj. It was there's Champ there he is. Yeah, just amazing that they were so young, and now they're the leaders during the huddle. Talking to us and giving us the pep talks. It's just amazing to see them grow up. You guys grow up.
I got one more.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was just recently. Yeah, that was another nice SIPAG picture. I know unfortunately we didn't win, but like I said, even win, lose or draw, the thing is that the families are always supportive, and the guys are it's like they're gonna give it their all, but it's like everyone supports you win or lose.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got a couple of quick questions.
Yeah, go ahead, JJ.
What's your basketball career high in points?
Points? Oh man, I think it was the Crackage Jack gym in City Island. I was playing in a league, but I think I scored like the guy just kept. I don't know. It's one of those you're in the zone. He just kept passing me the ball, and I think I had like 40 or 40 points or something like that. But the guy on the on the team, he was like, "Man, why do you keep passing him the ball?" He's like, "No one else is making a shot." So it was that was a good time, career high.
Who is your NBA idol?
I like watching Tim Duncan. I like just the way he carried himself. He was he played down low. Scottie Pippen, the way he played defense. It was I like watching those guys play.
What's your go-to basketball move?
Oh man, Jerry used to rag on me for this. Like you face up the person and you like shake an egg. Like you shake the ball in front of you. Yeah, it's like shake the egg, and it was like a quick spin move. I traveled most of the times, but hopefully you get friendly with the refs. Like, hey, how you doing, ref? And then they don't call it. But those are pretty much. Yeah.
All right, last one. Who's your favorite SIPAG teammate?
Man, so many. I had a good time with Ed Grospe, Jerry, Chris is full of, Chris Albano, Yvonne. They just, everyone just had a unique personality. But, I started getting, me and Ed started getting close, hanging out. Ed Grospe, he's good. Great guy. But everybody, Paul Albano, I would say that he was, he impressed me when he became a coach, of us, his mind, of how to, put me in the game and strategy. And Chris Albano, I would say the whole, everybody was, was great.
Great.
I have one last question. I hope I don't put you on. Get you in trouble. But obviously you mentioned earlier on, you were the big man on the opposing team against SIPAG, and then after ensuing years, you later on became part of the program, part of the team.
Yeah.
Did you ever receive any flack from your former teammates, either at Westchester or at Lamar, for for joining or playing with it?
Yeah, they said they were upset, because they Tito Joey Dungalo, he was the one that discovered me in the Kinilau gym. I was just my cousin. Remember, I told you. He said, "Oh yeah, you should try out in Kinilau. They got an open gym," and I was there, and that I didn't get picked up by Kinilau, so he saw me. He said, "Hey, I got a Westchester team forming, and I'd like you to play." And I live in Westchester, so. But after the 3 years, I just felt like we didn't have the guys that were capable of doing it because we didn't have the chemistry. I don't know if guys were making a sacrifice. Like I said, like when the ball was going to the ground, any SIPAG player that was nearby was going for it head first. And I don't know if I could say that with the teams I played with in the past. They were gonna, it was, when you're playing against a tough team, and the energy level, the dedication you need to be a champion. And I just felt like I needed a change. And I explained to them as best as I could, but yeah, they were pretty much upset that I think someone said I sold out, but
oh man.
But I ended up playing with them. I'm still good friends with Jay Dungalo, the guys. We started. I still play, even though I played with SIPAG different tournaments. I would play, and I would still play with them. And again, I moved from team to team. I don't know if I was like a freelance. If I wasn't playing with SIPAG, it was like Grid Tech. Different organizations. But one thing that they would say is, man, that's that guy from SIPAG, and you have to carry yourself in a certain way, like playing, being professional on the court, and I was, I'm not trying to brag, but I was in, demand, not just because of my height and whatnot, but it all stemmed from, this SIPAG way of playing, making the right passes, being unselfish. And it was all part of Westchester SIPAG, building in me.
I mean, just hearing you talk about it and hearing your perspective. Obviously, JJ and myself, our viewpoints a little bit different. We're grassroots, right, in terms of our participation with SIPAG. But hearing someone like you come from the outside and then really immersing yourself in the culture and with with Finland basketball, participating with SIPAG, it's great to hear that. I mean, it kind of makes it sound like it's something like a few guests said the Yankees or something like that, an organization at that level. And
that's true.
It's just a small Filipino American organization in Staten Island, New York.
No, you're right. It was, what I tell people, like, I never played with a better organization. Like I played around, like as I've gotten more playing time, I played with the police leagues, corporate leagues, my local basketball leagues, but nothing matches that. Like guys was all like from one all the way to the bench, the coaches, everybody was on the same page, and everybody was willing to give it. Like, nobody was half stepping. You're not going to find that. And guys were sharing the ball. You're going to run harder when like guys like Chris Albano, Jerry Goldspace going to hit you, Yvonne. Like they're all going to, even if you have a bad couple shots, they're still going to get you the ball. And they got your back. And that's why I said, whenever they say, hey, we got a tournament, I'm like, oh, okay, let me come out of retirement, or, let me be a part of it, because it's something special. And it's great that you guys are carrying it on, because I haven't seen it yet since my playing all those years. I haven't. I've seen glimpses of it. You guys, I've seen glimpses in your guys' game, of course, because you got the SIPAG tradition. But there was the way they, just the intensity was amazing, and the sacrifice, was unbelievable. And as you know, it was I don't know how many championships in the juniors, seniors, masters. Is and it's amazing that off the court, guys like yourselves became leaders in your field, and even the girls, the ladies, they became coaches there, running the SIPAG organization, the moms, you always had, that's one thing I always rubbed off too, was the leadership, like, your brothers, Champ Bench, Miguel going pro, Mel going pro. It was just a lot of positives.
Well, you know what? We're very happy that you were able to share your experience. I'm happy that you walked into the St. Allen Tech gym and played against SIPAG. Because if it wasn't for those early days, we might not be having this discussion right now. So, thank you to those Filipino tournaments earlier on.
No, thank you. And then, just to let you know that they were really gearing up for SIPAG, like to beat you guys. Like it was recruiting. And this is how we have to do this to get, we have to play a certain way, but it was constantly, it wasn't revolving around any other team. I hate to say it was like, I know you guys were the top team, but we recruited guys from all over the country, but to try to beat you. And we didn't do it because we didn't have, the chemistry and accountability. Because if you just met a guy for a week or two and tell him, hey, man, you got to tighten up your defense. He's only like, what? But
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a superstar, and but so King Tixon was something. He would he would listen, but I know he was became a CPUG player also, but it was just it was like I would just want to let you know that it was just focus all year, and then we didn't end up winning, but it was just a lot of focus on and you can't do it like that. You have to do it through a process.
Absolutely.
Sticking it out.
Absolutely. And that carries off through other parts of your life that you carry that on to what you did with NYPD and the PAL and your involvement there. So thank you again for you becoming a leader and for us to look up to. Especially these days, it's tough. It's tough finding supporters for the NYPD, for any police or authority. But you've managed to do and put the positive energy towards something positive for the community. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, JC. Thank you, JJ. And shout out to the families that I know you guys, the Albano families in the healthcare industry. Thank you, and your guys' parents and relatives. We all know someone in the healthcare field is on the front lines. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thank you for carrying on the history and tradition.
Thanks for sharing the story. Well, we might have to do a big man episode.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, got to get Richie on there.
Yeah,
Slick Cruz. Yeah,
Slick.
You got called out, Slick.
Yeah, he gave me problems too.
Ready.
He was good. I mean, he was solid. Yeah.
Now we look forward to a lot of people being open to sharing their experience and stories, because again, like you said, this is something that it should have been done a while ago.
Yeah.
But we're happy to be the ones to kind of trailblazing, being the one to spearhead it. But before we let you go, you're retired. You mentioned you try and keep yourself busy. What do you have going on right now for yourself?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, look after my parents. They're both older now, and they need assistance. So that's pretty much occupying a lot of my time. And and I would like to get back into helping the youth again once this clears up, and when it's safer for everybody. But I like to get back into helping at-risk youth again.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, Chris, Sergeant Chris Traumer, for coming. And
I'm retired. Yeah, thank you, JC. Yeah, you and your family. I just remember you in the gym, running around, just shooting the ball. JJ, you too. I don't know if you ran on the court, JJ. Where you run on the court when there was breaks.
There was timeouts. Yeah. Sometimes I was just getting rebounds for champ though.
Oh. But proud of you guys, what you guys are accomplishing, and I know your coaching and your YouTube channels. I wish you the best.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. Well, all right, JJ.
And thanks for coming on again. I hope we get you on for another episode later on. But thanks for sharing your story with us.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, I appreciate it. Yeah, I just can't think of some of them now, but I definitely would love to.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, no, we'll have to write it down for part 2 or something.
Yeah,
But,
no, because each guy is like just breaking down each each guy is just a different character, on the team is pretty.
But
yeah.
Chris, we're till next time. Thanks for hopping on.
You.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers to you again.
Peace.
Happy retirement.
Thanks
for sharing your story.
Be safe and be well. Take care,
if it's okay with you, we'll say on 3
Oh yeah,
kill.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
On 3 kill. 1, 2, 3.
Kill. All right. Cheers.
Thanks for watching A Full Timeout. See you next time.
Till next time.